Hello survivors. When it comes to horde-based design, as you know, Darkness Falls is not vanilla. The pure destruction that Kane has concocted with his numerous minions immediately puts Darkness Falls into a category of its own. Many vanilla bases would actually work if it was not for the aerial bombardment, demon fireballs and splash damage that tremendously increases the stress on a horde base. For this reason, when it comes to later stages, you create a fortress that costs the earth to build and maintain, including huge quantities of ammunition that end up being consumed. I realize some of you cannot play on anything but insane difficulty level. I'm not an insane level player. I would assume, like most of you, we play on warrior or less. My horde knights are generally at 32 zombies. However, I am always on the lookout for Darkness Falls proof bases, as even if you play on 16 zombies during a horde night, that can be pretty difficult once you move to the higher game stage levels. Many of you that have been in the Darkness Falls Discord would have come across one of the team members. He goes by the name of Dobbers. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Dobbers decided to put his brain into action and came up with a successful horde base way back in Alpha 19. However, it was not put much into the public domain and was only spoken about in myth and folktales. Alpha 20 dawned on us, and a fearsome set of new monsters and challenges arose. People moaned of titanium being too weak, and moaned that demons were shredding bases. The thoughtful Dobbers retreated to his tower and mulled over the new challenges. He finally stepped out with a new set of blueprints under his arm. Fellow minions, I present to you the most recent version of the Wizard's Tower. The slender and deceivingly perforated tower is an interesting design that certainly turns the eye. What is even more interesting is in its original form, it is made entirely of cobblestone and concrete. The helix or spiral section appears like a woven pattern made up of cobblestone. This could have been easily constructed by just plonking down a square tower. Instead, the wizard chose to add iron bars between each block, thus giving a deceiving appearance of a gap. However, the iron bars block is providing stability between the cobblestone blocks. The bottom areas are pits of concrete and various paths to provide an easy exit for any zombies that are inside. Monsters are ushered into a single concrete walkway that winds up and around the wizard's tower. An interesting aesthetic choice is that the walkway appears to be an unstable platform with not that much holding it up to the center wall. He could have just added 2 blocks between the walkway and the main section. This would have provided the required stability. However, instead of this, he chose to use a panel and a quarter tile between the 2 positions. Yet again, looks were important, but he still has the exact same stability and hit points of a full square block. He said that the strange overhang or wings were added in an attempt to draw some of the large tall zombies into a crouched position. Most noticeable is the absence of traps. No electric fences, no typical straight catwalk, and no obstacles to block the running zombies. Near the top of the tower we have yet another twist, with multiple 90-degree quick turns. As Dobbers is the patron saint of the Church of Sledge Turrets, the core zone is of course centered around 3 sledge turrets fitted with mods. Finally, the zombies will work their way up to the head, where there is currently a concrete box. This is where the player waits. So I slapped down some turrets, added some mods to them as Dobbers suggested, and set up a modest game stage 300. I usually play on warrior and have a 32 zombie count. I then activated the Blood Moon. The design of the walkway is specific at this point, where it narrows to half a block. Those not falling off tend to be knocked off. Some do get through, however, but in the early stages I found that it was really only the Stalker that sometimes managed to run the gauntlet, and occasionally a Titan. For some reason, his form allowed him to better navigate the pathway. However, these are the exceptions, so you can read a book if you wanted to. Annoying vultures are easily sorted out by sparks or popping up through the hatch to kill them. Instead of dealing with every monster, you are dealing with very few, maybe 1 or 2%. I tried a few more slightly higher game stages, however it became easier as the Stalkers mainly stopped coming, and as it moved into mainly demonic zombies, these effectively never make it to the top. The base worked too well, and after growing tired of the bottom feeders, it was time to move up to the named demons. I knew we would have to contend with the Succubus, Hell Pigeons, the Incubus, and the demonic Behemoth. A single Succubus fireball will punch through concrete with one hit. So the top hat needed to have a slight upgrade. The idea was to stay cozy as much as possible, and this meant adding a few turrets. They would act as a means to easily sort out the Hell Pigeons and be an easy early access warning system when a Succubus or two rocked up. That was it. Besides the titanium upgrade to the upper box and adding a mortarboard to the head, I left 90% of the Wizard's Tower as concrete and cobblestone. I moved myself to a game stage of 860, and I'm still running on warrior difficulty with a 32 zombie count. There were no Stalkers to worry about due to the lower level, but one Titan and a demonic Behemoth did get through during the Horde night. I did a Horde on 3 straight days. The base still held up with some blocks taking damage, mainly at the bottom where the zombies were getting stuck in the blocks, literally inside the blocks, and eventually would sometimes break the concrete. However, the base stood firm without any fixing of the blocks. As long as you are not showing your face too much, the demonics are not shooting fireballs at you. A good vantage point is just to sit just above the hut or the box area and shoot the zombies as they run up with their backs to you. Another advantage of this is that after a Horde night, many of you know that you often end up in a screamer loop. By sitting here, the screamers appear below with their backs to you, so you can easily kill them before they scream. The other option, which I usually do, is actually just to run away. Leave the base, then double back, picking the zombies off as you return. The biggest problem is the Succubus. This base took care of all monsters, but the Succubi are the only reason you have to get out of your box to deal with them. For all 3 turrets to work, you need to be mechanic class and have added points to the robotics inventor track. However, 90% of the zombies never make it past the first sledge turret, so it is not a major problem if you're just going to at least put 1 turret down for a while. Also, deployed sledge turrets do not degrade, so they can hit forever without being replaced. As many of you know, in Alpha 20, gaining experience too fast is a negative thing. So this also helps prevent the problem as you are slowing that gain down. Before demons, this base is an amazing experience as you can stand outside of the door, the entrance, and just kill zombies to your heart's content. Occasionally potting off a Stalker or maybe a Titan that gets through. After that, stick to the rules of the base and don't let the demons see you. Well done, Dobbers, a horde base made of cobblestone and concrete, and it can take on a high game stage. It looks good, and with some neat tricks also included. All we need now is a Succubus solution to make it read a book friendly. If you want to get your hands on the base to download and possibly use it in your own design and adaptations, I've added the Google Drive links to the download file in my description, courtesy of Dobbers. You can ask questions about it in the Builds Bases Discord section, and he will be happy to respond. I've also added a video from another channel, Reach Gaming, in my description. He has a great tutorial on how to import a base, otherwise just search for it on YouTube. That's it for now. Please let me know if this kind of video is possibly something we can do in the future. Until then, I will see you in the next one.